What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be checking out this clip where Megyn Kelly is talking to Tucker Carlson. Now, she's doing this event somewhere in Florida, I believe, and her guest was Tucker Carlson, and they're talking about Ben Shapiro as well as Mark Levin, and maybe bearing a hatchet between these three, because them two, Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, hate Tucker Carlson right now because of supposedly he's an anti-Semite and so on and so forth, which I don't believe that's true, but that's what they're claiming. And Tucker Carlson is pretty much ignoring them and doing his own thing on his own show, and they're mad about it. So let's go ahead and check out the video.
Let's talk just for 1 minute about Ben Shapiro, because he too is under threat. I know you both very well, and I also really care about Ben. And you cannot see Ben without 6 armed guards. He said on the Daily Wire not long ago, and I think it was a great line, he said, if they kill Matt Walsh, God forbid, everybody will know who did it, some crazed leftist. He said, if they kill me, it'll be like an Agatha Christie novel, like a mystery, where they won't know. Could be alt-right, could be far left. Like, he's got a lot of haters. And so there was this one brief shining moment after Charlie died where you guys kind of buried the hatchet, and I
called him. I called him and Mark Levin, who I know well. He's obviously a lunatic, but he's a person, and I didn't want to fight. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's a whole lot of Trump energy there. That's pretty hilarious because it's true. Mark Levin is crazy. Every time you see him on Fox News, he's going into this lunatic fringe moment where he's yelling at the camera. So Tucker Carlson's right about that.
Obviously is, but I didn't want to fight with him at all. And I said to both of them, I called them the day after or 2 days after Charlie was killed from my backyard because I was really thinking about it and praying about it. And I was like, we agree on a lot, actually. And I'm not that interested in the topic of Israel. I'd be so glad never to hear the name again. I mean, I would be so glad. I would never mention it again. I'm not for more forever wars. Let's just stop that pressure, and I'll never mention it again. I'll never think about it again.
That's the reason this will never work out. That's the reason these three would never get along. It's because they're both, when it comes to Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, they're into identity politics. Tucker Carlson is not. He's against it. Not only that, he's against these forever wars, and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin hasn't seen a war they didn't like. That right there, when it comes to ideology, are just in big conflict with each other. And that's the reason you will never see these three get together and get along at all.
Obviously care about it much more than I do, that's fine. But take that off the table, and we agree on a lot. So let's, not attack each other. And they didn't abide by those terms, but that's fine. They were under no
Mark
obligation.
Levin was literally attacking you within days of that. I remember when you had that conversation. We talked about
fine.
it. Within days.
That's fine. I don't care what
he's also out there calling me an anti-Semite. I don't even know what I know at least what the accusations against you are. I have no idea what I did.
Is anyone thinking through the damage this is doing?
See, what she did is she platformed Tucker Carlson. That's what they're mad about when it comes to her. And not only that, she doesn't denounce Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens. Do that. That lumps her in with them being anti-Semite because they talk about Israel and how the U.S. government needs to decouple from Israel. And these two guys, when it comes to Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, they're saying that's being anti-Semitic when it's not. It's being just pragmatic and wanting to try to stop spending so much money on these foreign wars that only benefit Israel and not the United States.
Downstream, I don't think that Levin, again, there are things that Levin says that I agree with completely.
Okay, but enough about him, because he's truly, Mark Levin, you're like, oh, Mark Levin's angry again. What a shock. But is there any way that you and Ben Shapiro can actually find your way to détente?
I'm not against Ben Shapiro. He did like a 40-minute thing yesterday calling me dangerous and all this stuff. It's like, I didn't watch it because why? But I got a lot of texts about it, and it's like, I don't think Ben Shapiro is driving a lot of this stuff. I don't consider him like the world's greatest force for evil. I don't feel that way at all. I don't actually think about him ever. So I'm not attacking him.
The video he's talking about, those 40 minutes, the amazing thing about this video, it was 40 minutes with no ad reads at all. which is unusual for Daily Wire and any of their shows. There's normally an ad read every 5 seconds. And in this one, there was none for 40 minutes. That's how serious he took that show when it comes to attacking Tucker Carlson and anti-Semitism against Tucker Carlson and also others that he mentioned in that video. So, I just do not see any kind of situation where these two would get along, or with Mark Levin even.
I saw him at Charlie's memorial service backstage. It was totally nice, and he looked a little uncomfortable, but I wasn't uncomfortable. I'm like a lunatic. I was like prattling on and telling obscene jokes and all this stuff, and he was totally nice. A little appalled, but nice. And so I don't want to have a war with Ben Shapiro. I don't know does he really think that me doing an interview in which I explained that anti-Semitism is wrong to one of the lead purveyors of anti-Semitism, that somehow makes me a Nazi? What is the argument here?
I'm going to ask him tomorrow.
The argument is by Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin is you shouldn't have platformed him in the first place. Doing that is actually condoning what he says. That's what they believe. But the thing is, they didn't watch the interview, at least the whole interview. And if you watch it, Tucker Carlson does give him the riot act when it comes to anti-Semitism. He does tell him that you shouldn't be judging the whole group as a whole. You should judge people by individual basis, which I completely agree with.
Night.
No, but I don't even understand what the argument is. All I know is that the right, and I've been on the right since before Ben was born, is acting like the left in such an amazingly precise way that I'm like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. And I tell you this, I'm against that. I was against it when the left did it. I'm against censorship. I'm against identity politics, no matter who does it, period. Because that violates my principles, and I'll never be on board with that. I don't care if my own kids run for office. If they engage in censorship and identity politics, I'm out. If it's all about their tribe, if this is about whose ever tribe, we're done. This has to be about our common Americanness. We're all American citizens, and if our politics is not about that, it can't continue, period.
Completely agree with them. Now, the thing with these three, when it comes to Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro, why did this look Tucker Carlson so much? It starts at the very beginning of the MAGA movement and Donald Trump ascending to be president of the United States. Both these two, when it comes to Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, were anti-Trumpers. Tucker Carlson was not. And that really started a schism between these three. And it's just grown ever since. And not only that, people are starting to realize that Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin have a lot of things in common with the left when it comes to foreign wars and also identity politics. Even Tucker Carlson realizes that. And that's the reason you will never see these three ever get along and, matter of fact, ever work together again. That's just my opinion. And I think people need to realize that Tucker Carlson wants best for the United States. He's not an anti-Semite. He is someone that wants to end foreign aid. And one of the biggest contributors we give to foreign aid is Israel. And really, it needs to stop. We're $38 trillion in debt. We need to keep this money in the United States and spend it on our own people and not in foreign lands. And not only that, every time we do foreign aid in these countries and there's a war, we're funding both sides of it. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to stop getting in the middle of this stuff and stay out of it. But guys, this is all my opinion. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, hit that like button and share this out to everybody. Peace.